What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. Bye, singing dog. Bye, goal.
I pronounce you...
Bye, wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my very special Saturday edition with Crystal Gajewski's Open Heart Foundation. Unfortunately, we had to postpone this the other day, so I'm very excited that Crystal was able to accommodate her schedule to come on the show today. So since I see she's holding, let's get her on and start talking about the foundation. Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, hey, pretty lady. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, good. I want to say thank you so much. I was just telling the audience I really appreciate you accommodating your Saturday morning schedule to give us some time and talk about the foundation and some of the things that you've been doing. So I want to say thank you very, very much. I want to kind of start off by saying that I understand that your foundation lies close to your heart, and rightly so, because I know your father has proved to be an inspiration and a motivation for you. So maybe let's start off in discussing this icon of a man. I know he was a former Marine and a consummate biker, father, and a husband. What do you find to be most amazing about him, or what can you tell us about him?
Well, obviously, growing up, right now, a lot of kids don't have both their parents. You know, I was lucky enough, and my brother was lucky enough to grow up with both of our parents under the same household. And every day I watched my dad go off to work, and he worked so hard to give my brother, my mom, and I a life that he wanted us to have. So that right there is an inspiration, because he did work ridiculously hard just to give us everything that he could possibly give us. On top of the fact that working so much, he was able still to help so many people. My dad was not someone that wanted the spotlight on him. He never wanted that. He did things behind the scenes, so to say. He would help people. Obviously, my mom and my brother and I knew about what my dad did, but a lot of people didn't know the aspect of how he helped and who he helped and how many people he helped, because, again, he did it behind the scenes. He literally would give you the shirt off his back if he had to. And that's just how he lived his life, and how that's what I was accustomed to growing up. Any time, like even in high school or middle school, like he never missed one of my brother's games, my games, like when we were playing in our sports. No matter what he did, he was always there for us, always. And that was just.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And it just inspired both my brother and me to like him, pretty much.
Okay, and is the charitable aspect, because I know that I've done some research on him, obviously, was the charitable aspect something that was kind of ingrained into him through maybe the rest of your family, or how did he become so exclusively involved in all these various different things that he did?
I can't actually say like what caused him to become so charitable, but because he's been like it my whole life. So he just did anything for anybody, and it just proceeded to more and more things that he continued to do as he got older, as we got older. It started off from something very little to something very big that, like I said, he went down to Katrina when that happened. That was out of the goodness of his heart. Nobody asked him to do that. He just went. He went down to Ground Zero. He volunteered that. Nobody asked him to go. He just went. And that's just the type of person my dad was.
How very special and how very sweet, because, you know, not everyone takes so much of the bulk of their time and their efforts to be able to utilize themselves for good. I thought just in the little that I read about him, he's just an absolutely amazing individual. For those that don't know, I think you refer to him as Ski, obviously, which is, of course, Ski's Open Heart Foundation. Now, as you had prefaced, he had been a volunteer at Ground Zero, and sadly I know that he had passed on in 2011 in December from lung cancer. Had he shared the experiences he had at Ground Zero with you?
He did. He shared some of them a lot with my mom. He told us about some of the things that went on down there, good and bad things. He met a lot of very, very nice people that all came to his funeral, people that are still in contact with us. He got lifelong friends out of it that are obviously are dealing with some of the same issues that he was dealing with. But to the aspect of the details that went on down there, yes, I know some of them, but it's really not my place to talk about those type of details.
Sure.
Because it's coming from me, and I wasn't officially down there. My dad was the one down there. But yeah, he was down there for 2,900 hours. He left April 15th, 2002. That was his last day down there. So he did see a lot of things.
Now, during the course of time in which that he was obviously living, was there any discussion with him in between yourself and the family in terms of, yes, maybe we should get something going in terms of a charitable foundation like what you've established? Was he privy or aware to the fact that this might occur?
No, he had no idea. My brother, my mom, and I, we decided to do it because the reason we started the foundation was there was two different missions to the foundation. And the first mission is we wanted to continue what my dad had started years ago, meaning he started this tradition of helping people in any aspect that he could possibly help on his own. And one of the biggest things that he did was his toy drive. Every year his union had a toy, like an annual holiday meeting, and they collected toys. And my dad, on top of those toys, he would buy toys himself. And it started off very, very small. He started donating to like 1 and 2 charities. And right before he passed away, the last year that we did it together, we were up to 9 charities. So that's something that was very, very dear to his heart. And that's something that my family and I wanted to continue to do for him. So that's one part of the mission is we're continuing doing what he had started. And then the other part, the main part of the mission is being that my dad wasn't a 9/11 firefighter or a cop. He was just a construction worker, operating engineer, blue-collar volunteer. He didn't get a lot of the benefits that they were privileged to, and which is obviously that's their duty. That's what that's what the government and the state and everything gives them. So a lot of people understand that. But being in that situation, thank God my dad had his union because he did have his benefits through his union, but it didn't cover a lot of his medical bills, so we were coming out of our pocket for a lot of it. My dad was in the hospital for almost 3 months, so that's a lot of medical expenses on top of his prescriptions since he was diagnosed in 2010. That's a lot of money a month too, and all that was coming out of our pocket. So we wanted to be able to help other families that were in that situation and hopefully help them. If we can't help them a lot if we don't have a lot of donations coming into us, but if we're able to buy them their prescription that they need that month, or keep their LIPA on, or keep their phone on, or something in that situation, get them to a doctor's appointment, we wanted to be able to do that. So that was the reason we started the foundation, was to help continue those 2 missions. And then we wanted, again, my dad wasn't a person that was in the spotlight. He did not like the spotlight. Like if he was here right now, we would never have this foundation because he hated the spotlight. But we as a family, my brother and my mom and I, we want other people that didn't get a chance to meet my dad because he did die so young to know who he was, to know what he did. And hopefully we can inspire other people to help, to continue to help. And that right there is continuing the tradition that he was doing.
And that's so amazing, too. And I guess in listening to you, I think I find it most heartbreaking as you're kind of reiterating here a little bit. It's unfortunate that some of these individuals don't have the common or the basic necessities that they need. So it's so vital and important that organizations such as yourself, obviously, are out there and are assisting people and all that good stuff. I wanted to note that, obviously, the foundation is run by yourself, your mother, and your stepmother, as I understand it.
No, not my stepmother, my biological mom. My mom and my dad were married.
I kind of thought that, and I said to myself, well, I didn't want to be presumptuous, so thank you very much for correcting me, obviously.
Yes.
And I know that you're based in New York, and as you were saying, you're helping the victims and the heroes and the families. Now, I wanted to ask, was your dad's participation, meaning in 911, just the lead factor in that decision for your foundation? Did you have other mitigating reasons for starting the foundation outside of that, or was this solely entirely?
No, the lead factor, like I said, was my dad's participation being a first responder, 9/11, and again, we wanted people that didn't get the chance to meet my dad to know who he was and know about him and hopefully inspire other people to help.
Okay, I gotcha. Now, as we're relating to down the road and looking at things, what are the ultimate goals for the foundation? Maybe not necessarily now per se, but as we go along, do you have ultimate goals that you have established for the foundation?
Yes, we do. My brother and I and my mom, we don't want it to be a huge foundation like a lot of these bigger foundations. We want it to stay like kind of family-oriented, have a few directors come up into our group, and just continue to be able to help as much as we can. We're not expecting it to grow to the size of like Make-A-Wish Foundation or something like that. If it does, that's amazing, and that would be one of the biggest tributes we could make to my dad, you know. But ultimately, our goal, we're only 3 people. We don't have a lot of like big corporation sponsorship right now behind us. If we do, that would be amazing as well. But right now our goal is just to help as we can, because that's what my dad would do. He didn't take on a big challenge. If somebody needed help, that's what he did. He helped them.
And that's so neat, because there's not a lot of people in your life at times where you come across and they're just like, I'm in need of something, this needs to happen, and boom, there's somebody like your dad per se to just step up and be there, which I find is just incredible. Again, another testament to the man's spirit and drive, and God, how lucky it must have been to have an individual like that in your life. I can only fathom that. That's amazing. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the attempts that the foundation has made as it pertains to funding, meaning you do drives? How do you get out there in the public eye? What sorts of events do you do to raise awareness about the foundation?
Okay, well, we decided when we started in June, my brother and I and my mom decided we wanted to do 3 major events a year, because we don't want to have too many events, because then a lot of people are going to be like, they're not going to want to come. So we decided on 3 major events, and the 3 major events are, we launched the foundation in June, so now every June on my dad's birthday, which is June 11th, as long as it falls on a weekday, we're going to have our anniversary party. So that's the first main event. And at that time, we do Chinese auctions, door prizes, silent auctions, we have buffet, open bar, just things like that to attract people to come in, and we charge a certain, like last year for the launch party, it was $25 at the door. And all those donations were the donations that we were able to receive, and it pretty much funded the foundation to get our website built, get our, like, the principles and the standards of the foundation, like our letterhead, just like things like that, the little things that you need to send out to appreciate to your supporters, as long as like products like sweatshirts and T-shirts. That's what the original launch party helped us do. On top of it, also we haven't even been found running a year yet, and we've already helped about 15 9/11 responders from New York to Texas. Meaning we were able to help them pay a LIPA bill or a cable bill, or send them, pay for one of their prescriptions. So that in itself, even though we didn't have a lot of money to begin with, my brother and my mother and I put a lot of money from our personal savings into this, because that's how much it meant to us. So even though we didn't have a lot of money, we were still able to help that many people. On top of, obviously, Hurricane Sandy just happened. For 2 weeks, we were collecting donations with the help of other foundations in our area, and we were able to help so many different families, and it's just amazing. And that's not even us being around for a year. So that's the first event, which is from this point on, it's going to be our anniversary party. The second major event is focusing on the 9/11 community. Last year we did something called the Strength and Hope Walk, where we had volunteers walk from Montauk Point on Long Island all the way to Ground Zero. And when they got to Ground Zero, they did a ceremony, and we dedicated whatever money we raised. We gave 50% of that to a 9/11 first responder's family that passed away. And every year we'll be doing the same thing. It'll start on 9/11 at 8:46 when the first flight hit, or 8:36. Can't remember exactly what time it was. When the first flight hit the tower, and usually last year it took us 2 days to get to Ground Zero, but this year we're changing it up a little, and we're making it into a relay. So each person that wants to participate will have to raise a certain amount of money, and then they'll run. We haven't exactly figured out the guidelines yet, but it's either going to be they can walk or run a mile or walk or run 3 miles, and then they hand off a baton. So that money is going to go to the family that we chose again this year. And then the third event is the toy drive that we do, which is, again, like I explained earlier, that was near and dear to my dad's heart. So that goes on every December. And this year, like I said, we had, the last time my dad did it, we were at 9 charities. Now we delivered to 13 charities this year, along with several separate families that have had hard problems this year, along with Sandy victims.
I gotcha.
So we were able to fill up my dad's entire enclosed bike trailer with toys and deliver all of them this year.
Oh my goodness gracious. Now I'm curious to ask this question. Are you finding that slowly but surely, I guess I'm curious to ask you, if the individuals associated with it, those that are needing help from 911, are they aware of you and your foundation and how to find you and all that good stuff? Are you finding that you're being approached by these individuals, or is this something where you have to find them to be able to assist them?
It's in the beginning. We work very closely with a foundation called the Feel Good Foundation, and they, I'm sorry, they when we first started, obviously we were working with them, and now the more and more we get our name out there, like we haven't even been around a year, and our Facebook, our Twitter, we just have to get our name out there, and the more we do that, the more people are contacting us, which is absolutely amazing, and that's all my family wanted. We wanted people to be aware of us, and they are then in turn suggesting us to other people, and it's absolutely one of the most amazing feelings in the world when somebody calls you and says, hey, I heard about you guys through this. I'd like to tell you my story. And, like, yes, it's heartbreaking when you hear some of these people's stories, but this is the reason that we started this.
Oh, I imagine so. And now do you find, and I can only imagine this, but does it get to be a bit overwhelming at times, not only from the emotional standpoint, but just heart-wrenching? Do you just get overwhelmed sometimes and think to yourself, oh, my God, I'm in over my head here. This is just so much.
At this point, I get overwhelmed because the only reason I get overwhelmed is because I think about my dad. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. That's what we're here to talk about. That's the whole reason that we're here in the first place.
Yeah, so I get overwhelmed because sometimes I just get upset and I miss my dad.
I imagine. But what a living testament. What a living memory. What a wonderful, wonderful job that you must be doing on a daily basis. You're doing heart work all day, all year round. And that's not something that everyone can boast about. You must be so proud. Your family must be so proud. And your father must be undoubtedly so proud. That's the reason.
And that's ultimately what we wanted. Like, we just want our dad to be proud of us.
Exactly. And I'm absolutely certain this beautiful angel is watching all of you and thinking how proud, how wonderful my children have done. You're such an inspiration. I can't even tell you. I'm very moved by this. I guess one of the questions I want to ask you is if the average person who's listening to this interview or an individual comes across your page, how can we, let's say, for instance, I'm in the Midwest here, and I know you're in New York, how can we volunteer to help? What can we do to assist the foundation?
There's a lot of things that you guys can actually do. You can, if you're in the Midwest, for instance, you can reach out not just to me, but you can reach out. There's other foundations probably in your area that may be doing the same thing that I'm doing. If not, they can call us. We can give them information on where to donate stuff to if they want to donate things such as, again, a lot. It's not just 9/11 responders need their necessities paid for. They don't have necessities such as toiletries or stuff like that. We can give them information on where to send that stuff to, or for the toys, we can give them charities that we donate the toys to that they're not just in need of toys one time during the year. They're in need of this stuff throughout the entire year.
So this is an ongoing process, obviously. So at any given point in time, they can, obviously we're going to talk about the website in a little bit, obviously, or they can get in contact with you, certainly. And obviously 911 is one of those things that's out there and prevalent with everybody. So it's not like there is a lack of places to go to try to offer your help, obviously. And I wanted to know, too, individuals can go onto the website directly to make donations, because I saw there's an area there through PayPal in which they can donate. One of the things that I found so interesting, one of the components that I like so much about the website setup is individuals who can share their stories on there. Have you come across individuals on there that have met your father or had a working relationship, let's say through Ground Zero? I was curious to find that out.
Yes, actually, I've been contacted by 2 different people so far that knew of my dad down there and actually like worked with him, and they would tell us a lot of the things. We don't share a lot of the stories unless they want to share it themselves. We'll put it on the website because some people they don't want their story on the website. But we have come across 2 people have contacted me and said that they knew of my dad, and they told us like some of it's funny, you know, they told us funny stories to lighten the situation, and then others just told us like about my dad and like what he did down there, and it's amazing. It makes you feel like really good.
Well, I imagine so, and it's probably therapeutic to them in some regard, meaning they're able to go and talk to someone like yourself, who clearly your father had experience in this and was there and met other individuals, and kind of talk about how they're feeling and thinking and stuff like that. Excuse me. Now, is this something that you do, meaning you run the foundation on a regular basis with the rest of your family, or do you actually have a day job, or has this kind of become your main thing?
I actually have a day job. My brother has a day job, and so does my mom. We do this just on like our free time, when we on the weekends or at night. We don't do it full time. Maybe eventually we can hopefully have somebody that does it full time, but right now it's just me and my mom and my brother. And then some of my dad's friends also help us like get the word out there and promote it for us. They wear our shirts and our sweatshirts.
Okay, and I meant to mention that actually because I happened to be on your website and I noticed that there is an area that you list clothing and items and things like that, but I guess I wasn't seeing everything, so I don't know. Do you have? Yeah,
the only thing right now the clothing part is still being completed because there's a lot you have to do to get the clothing up there. So we're just finishing that up. But the miscellaneous stuff is such as the decals, the wristbands, those are already up there. The clothing we're hoping to have finished within the next 2 weeks. And then you can go right on there and purchase any of the items.
Oh, okay, got it. So it's accessible.
But right now, though, since the clothing's not up there, you can still purchase it online. Just when you go to the donate page, there's like a little comments or memo section. You just write in there what you'd like to purchase, such as the T-shirt and the size, just until we get the clothing aspect of the website completed. Because my brother and I are the ones that are actually designing our website. My brother writes all the code, and we do all that ourselves. So.
Oh my goodness, how absolutely wonderful. Now, tell me something, and I know people are always interested to hear things like this because obviously you are a charity organization just like most of the rest of us out there. How do you vary in terms of with individuals who either donate to your organization or they purchase something? Is it 100% of the proceeds, or where is their money going as it relates to the foundation?
The money is going 100% of the proceeds go to the 9/11 victims or to help the other people, and we try to, as we're helping people, a lot of them give us thank you letters. We try to upload all that stuff on their website and keep updates going on, like our Facebook page, our Twitter page. At any time, anybody can ask to see the books. Like the accountant has all that information. We don't want to hide anything. We don't want. That's not why we're doing this. We don't want anything from the foundation. We want all of it to go directly towards to help the people.
And that's so inspiring, too. I was just going to mention that because, obviously most of the charities out there nowadays, of course, have to take some kind of administrative kickback where they're saying, okay, we're going to donate this much to the foundation and the rest of us we're keeping, obviously. So it's, again, just another testament to you that you're taking all that money and turning it around and putting it for good, especially the individuals who have suffered from such a crisis as 9/11. Again, makes you even more amazing than the first time I talked to you. I just find myself more and more enamored with the kind of work that you do and the individuals that you are. I wanted to kind of throw this out there because I just found out this morning that you and I have a mutual friend. I should have known this because you're Father's Biker Association. Apparently you know my friend Sam Crow.
Oh, yes, I do. Yep.
How funny is that? We were talking this morning.
He just wrote me a message this morning saying good luck today with the interview with you.
Oh, that's so absolutely amazing. You know, Sam Crow is an absolutely wonderful person, and, you know, he's very involved in the biker thing. And I just actually started hosting his other radio show, Sam Crow Radio, which is all about Sons of Anarchy. So he said, you know, you got to make sure that you tell Crystal that I said hi and da-da-da-da and all that. And it's funny what a small world it is and how amazing, and I'm sure you can speak to this, the biker community, just the fact that they step up and do so very much for charity.
Oh, yeah,
and,
my dad was a big biker, and my dad's biker community has been absolutely amazing. I don't even have words to put into how good they've been to my family.
Really? That is awesome.
They were there at the launch party. They were there at the toy drive. Some of them showed up for the walk. Some of them check in on us all the time. My dad was a big part of the biker community, and they were I don't even have words to express how thankful my family is towards them.
And that's terrific, you know, because I do notice, and I'm sure you've noticed this before in the biker community, you know, bikers sometimes get the bad rap, you know, because they look a certain way or they act a certain way and they're out in the community, and it's kind of like, you know, I think that they are not quite taken seriously enough in terms of that they have good intent and good hearts and that they're in the right place and they really want to do charitable things. So I think that's terrific. You know, I really do think that it's great that they step up like that. Now, I know obviously that you yourself personally, not only do you assist in running the foundation, but in the past I know you've assisted with various biker events, Special Olympics, domestic abuse events. So I'm kind of seeing that charity work as a staple to your family and a sign of just this genuine pureness of heart that your family possesses. How do you feel that your involvement in these endeavors has affected you as a person?
It just made me become a better person. Like, it makes you thankful for what you have. Just seeing people, even just watching my dad, how he helped people, and just seeing, like, the smiles on people's faces, it's, like, priceless. You can't put a dollar on that. How just smiling at somebody, you could have just made their day. You never know what those people are going through. Like, every single one of us has our own issues. And just, you never know what that person's going through that you just sort of walked by and smiled to or waved at. Like, you have no idea. You may have just made their day. You may have just turned their really crappy day into a really good day.
It's all about heart, as we're talking about here. That kind of goes without saying here. Has this been just the charity work and in particular foundation, do you feel it's been a form of a healing tool to you and your family?
Oh, 100% for me, yes. I was extremely angry. I was upset. I was hurt. And instead of taking all those feelings and turning them into something negative, where a majority of people sometimes do, my grief and all everything that I felt, and I wanted to turn it into something very positive. And that's what I did.
And you think it's working? I mean, are you finding that you're being successful for a short amount of time?
Yep.
Really? Oh,
yep.
That's absolutely amazing. It's wonderful. And, of course, obviously, you continue to go on. Go ahead.
It doesn't change the fact that my dad's not here. It doesn't change the fact that every day of my family's life is different now. It doesn't change the fact that we don't miss him, but it does help us, one, stay closer to him. It helps us to, again, let people that didn't get to meet him. He died at a very young age. A lot of people, he still could have met a lot of people, he still could have helped a lot of people. So it's allowing us to do that for him.
And that's amazing, too, because like you're saying, you're able to do that, and this is something it's all about heart, really. And I think you are being 100% successful the moment you decided to start the foundation, go out there and be able to assist people. Obviously, it's such a noteworthy cause, and unfortunately, I just don't think guys like you or foundations like you get enough exposure. There's not enough people out there that are willing to say, hey, let's talk about this and let's talk about that. I'm just so honored to have the privilege to be able to help you or assist you, hopefully, in your goal, and hopefully many people will listen to this interview and realize that you're out there and that you're able to be utilized. I want to make sure before I forget, I know that obviously www.skisopenheart.com is your website, or www.skisopenheart.org. You also have a Twitter presence at @skisopenheart, where people can follow you on Twitter as well. Any other resources or places to find you?
We have our Facebook page, which is the same thing, www.facebook.com/skisopenheart. And then we just have our website. So hopefully people go to those. You can be redirected to any one of those from any aspect that you click on. So, and then we have our phone's on all the time. You can leave a message if you don't get to us, or you can email us. We get our emails right to our handhelds every day. So if you don't feel comfortable enough talking to us via phone, you want to send us an email, that's fine as well.
That's wonderful. Crystal, you have been an absolutely amazing guest this morning. I want to thank you for being so candid and frank and explaining to us about your foundation. I'm really hoping that you'll stay in contact. You'll let me know, of course, if I can do anything at all to assist you at any point in time. I would absolutely love to utilize any of my resources to help your foundation. And I do wishing that you have plenty of success. I'll certainly push people your way as I come along with them in my plethora of individuals I meet through the show. I'd love to be able to see you succeed, and I'd love to be able to get you to a point where you guys are very successful. I think you deserve that. I think your efforts are amazing. I think you're pure at heart. I think you're just wonderful.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you having us on your show. Hopefully next time I can get my brother and my mom on as well. They're just very busy right now.
I was just going to say, certainly, we have an open extended date here. Anytime you want to come back, you just give me a holler and you let me know, and we'll get you back on the show with your family. We can talk more about it extensively, especially when you have your next event coming up. I'd love to host you again.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing. Like I said, our next event is in June, so maybe we can set something up for around there, and I can make sure my mom and my brother, and maybe even some of the other volunteers that we're with can talk to you as well.
That would be absolutely awesome, my dear. All right, I'm going to let you get on with your weekend, and you have yourself a great day, and we'll be talking soon.
Thank you so much.
Sure, not a problem at all, dear. You take care.
You too. Have a good weekend.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, folks, thanks so much for listening to that. Again, that is Crystal with the Skis Open Heart Foundation. I can't say enough about the work that she's doing. Obviously, it's relative to September 11th victims and families. And, of course, we all know what kind of a tragedy was involved with that. So certainly I would ask you all to open up your minds and your hearts to be able to assist their foundation in any and all ways possible. Again, I want to repeat, she can be found on Twitter at Skis Open Heart, which is S-K-I-S, Open Heart. That's all one word. And you can follow her on Twitter, www.skisopenheart.com, www.skisopenheart.org. And she also has a actual Facebook page presence, which is, of course, the Skis Open Heart Foundation. So, again, I want to say thank you so much to Crystal for spending her time on a weekend, of course, just to talk to me about her foundation. A couple of quick items before I let you go. For the upcoming week, in case any of you are wondering where you can find me, starting on Tuesday, of course, I do the Sam Crow Radio Show, which is my sister show that I'm hosting. And, again, Sam Crow Radio is designed specifically for us to speak to both past and present members of the cast of the hit series on FX, which is Sons of Anarchy, and, of course, anything Biker Relative. So certainly we appreciate your support. Go ahead onto Facebook and check out Sam Crow Radio. And I'm also located with Blog Talk Radio. That's my show page. Again, same name, Sam Crow Radio. I'm very pleased and honored on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be hosting Unser, who is the character from Sons of Anarchy. And his name, of course, being Dayton Kelly. He's not only I'm pledged and privileged to say as a friend of mine, but we're going to get into talking about all elements of his career well beyond, of course, Sons of Anarchy, his accolades, his awards, his work on Deadwood, etc. So please tune in for that. Since Jack Corner on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Olga, we're going to be speaking to her. She is very blessed and privileged to be actually costuming the pets for the actual Oscars in 2013. So I'm very excited about speaking with her. And then on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to be speaking to Heather Robinson. Heather Robinson, of course, is the wife of NBA player Cliff Robinson. And also they have a beautiful foundation that I've had an opportunity to look at and take a little peek into, which is the Robinson Foundation. My dear friend Robin Levy has had a fundraiser with her. She's an amazingly charitable, wonderful, big-hearted individual. So certainly, please be sure to tune in on Thursday. And then I'll let you know as we progress on how the rest of the week is going to pan out. Real quickly, I wanted to talk about our sponsor of the show, which is, of course, Labrie Pure and Natural. Nicole with Labrie is the individual who handles natural skincare products. If you've ever asked yourself what are in your skincare products, you'd be surprised to read the labels of the food you eat and what's contained in them. But do you actually read the labels of what you're putting into your skin? Did you know that it takes only seconds for chemicals in our skincare products to enter into your bloodstream? So that's why at Labrie Pure and Natural, they use only natural ingredients. Pure aloe vera gel is the first and abundant ingredient in each one of the Labrie skincare products, combined with, of course, natural extracts botanicals, and, of course, minerals. Labrie Pure and Natural takes all of your skin problems, from your wrinkles, age spots, acne, eczema problems, psoriasis, dryness, and it just gives your skin the benefits of that nature's healing plant. Now, Labrie prides itself on making the most natural skincare products, and, of course, at a very affordable price. If you go ahead to the website, www.nicoleann.labrie.com, you can order your first free 7-day starter kit. And all you have to do is just pay the shipping fee of $6.95 and find out what Labrie can do for you. Additionally, Nicole can go ahead and assist you if you're looking for future money-making opportunities in terms of Labrie. You can give her a call directly at 414-852-3515. Or again, we'll reiterate, the website is www.nicoleann, which is all one word, NICOLEANN.labrie.com. And you can reach her at any time. She's a good friend of mine. And she does amazing work at very affordable prices. So please be sure to hook up with her. Again, thanks so much for listening to me this morning on a Saturday. I'll let you get back to the snow and playing out there, and I hope you all have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.
What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal.
I pronounce you.
By wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really? Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal.
I pronounce you.
By wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really? Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.